Billiken fans, welcome back. It is Zach Miller and Peter Hale, and it's the Midtown Madness Podcast. Before we get going, thank you all so much for listening. I say it every episode, and I mean it every time I say it. Thank you all so much for listening. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Subscribe to us on platforms on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Subscribe, comment. Like, retweet, it helps. It really does. But it is season 5. And once again, the Midtown Madness Podcast is brought to you by Two Men in a Garden. Pete, I've been watching the Tour de France, and I really don't have a segue other than like chips and salsa from Two Men in a Garden. Well, salsa from Two Men in a Garden pairs well with chips while watching sporting events, and the Tour de France is my favorite sporting event going on right now. So, I mean, by transitive property, Two Men in a Garden salsa is the best thing to eat while watching the Tour de France.
Got it.
And you really should head over to their website, twomeninthegarden.com. Check out what they got going on. And if you're in, a Schnucks or Deerberg's, any local grocery store, check the salsa aisle and you'll find Two Men in a Garden. If you head over to their website, and you can get it shipped to your door for $9.99 in flat rate shipping. Two Men in a Garden salsa is made fresh with simple ingredients and a ton of flavor. Visit them online, like I said, at twomeninthegarden.com. You can shop your favorite flavors there and learn more about Kitchen Hub STL. They're always adding partner products to that website. Follow them on social media at Two Men Salsa on Instagram and Twitter for the latest updates. Pete, I feel like the player from Slapshot. He's like, "You're injured, right?" He's like, "No, I have a cold, sore throat, runny nose. I think it's settled down in my kidney." I feel like him today when I'm talking because I'm completely stuffed up, and I apologize to our listeners. But that's just how it goes.
I didn't even notice it, Zach, until you mentioned it. And now that you mention it, I notice it. So you probably could have gotten away with whatever we talk about for the remainder of the show. And I don't think I would have noticed.
Oh, that's just the story of my life. That's the story of my life. I talk too much. Speaking of talking too much, I'm going to talk about something that people probably think I talk a little bit too much about, and that's the little things. And I know you're a fashionista over there. You enjoy like you just texted me a picture of shirts wearing a hooded long sleeve t-shirt and said, do they sell these in store? And I said, no, of course they don't. That's always the answer to that question. No, but I want to get your take because one thing not your take. I'm going to give my take, but I want you to temper my take or, hand me my, okay. So Chris May releases his end of year video. They tweeted out from the Billiken Athletics account. And again, I'm going to say this and I want to be honest, and not come across as like making fun of his fashion sense or, being mean or obsessing over something trivial. And of course it may be trivial to you. But he's wearing a light blue-ish plaid sport coat, a light blue shirt, an orange, black, and white tie, or is navy blue, and a Billiken lapel pin. And I just don't understand. You're filming the video. Why are you wearing orange and black and navy tie? If I worked as in that role, I just feel like not a lot of Billiken spirit in that outfit.
So are you one of these people who watches like a politician, and you're the one. Your first question is not why did you do this? Why did you do that? What are you going to do about this? But it's why aren't you wearing a flag pin?
Correct.
That's
Or a red or blue tie. I gotta always check to see which tie they're wearing.
this is I just have to admit up front, this is the kind of thing that I just like. You and I care about different things.
Yes.
This is not one of them for me. Yeah, I mean, it does seem like the thing an athletic director should do is just wear the team colors by default. In a setting when you're addressing the athletic department audience, the athletic booster audience, your fan base. Like it just seems like one of those things. I think, Zach, this is the kind of thing, like, even you wouldn't care if you felt like attention to detail was being done in other facets of the athletic department. But it seems to me like you think this is just more like part of a whole.
I don't understand the thought process. To me, it's like I would take every chance I could get to where I'm the athletic director of a university, whatever athletic or university that is. Anytime I'm wearing the colors, like I'm super proud of that job, right? Like I'm super proud to be here. This is my athletic department. Well, this is the athletic department that I get to represent every day, and I can build it to be the best athletic department it can be. And like I'm excited to be here, and I am not wearing Billiken blue tie, a tie with Billikens on it if you're feeling whimsical. I just the rest, I just don't understand not wearing Billiken blue to work on a day you're going to be filming something that's going to be viewed by however many people on Twitter that you're trying to connect with. That's the one thing. That's literally the one thing that connects you to you or I or anybody listening to this show right now is blue, white, and the Billiken.
So let me ask you this. Is it more important for a person in a leadership position like that to be in a suit, to be dressed formally, or to be wearing the team colors?
Team colors. Team colors every single time. I don't think, I feel like if you go and you like these SEC athletic directors, right? That you never see them in, I feel like you don't see them in a suit unless they're having to talk about allegations against one of their student athletes. Like you always see them in team colors, like a polo, whatever. If they're at a football game, they're generally wearing, a quarter zip, a polo, something like that. Honestly, I would probably give him way more credit for wearing like a Billiken basketball tracksuit, like the stuff they wear on the bus, like to go between the hotel and games. Like if he wore that with like a hood, I legitimately would, and it was a Billiken branded. Better than wearing some random colors on your tie, 100%.
All right. How about, do you think the tie is what threw it off? If he didn't have an orange tie on and he just had the suit and shirt, both which had some tones of blue in there, would this have registered? I
think it would have registered, and I would have given it an eye roll and then moved on.
Mm-hmm.
It would have registered. Just I'd have been like, okay.
So the tie to you is what really?
Yeah, it just throws it like it's just an odd. It's a choice. It's a choice. I'm gonna look. You can make up your own minds out there whether it matters or not. I think it's about taking pride in where you're at, man. It's just if that's it. I think that like the athletics department in general, because it's across, down to probably the like even down to the SIDs and into marketing and certain people down in game day ops, they're wearing suits. And I get why you would want to you would stand out so people know who's there working, but you have the lanyard. Like honestly, I'd prefer every person in the athletic department, regardless of title, all the way up to the top, wearing Billiken polo quarter zip. Like to me, especially with I think it's great that Chris May sits out in the audience, like in the stands. I think that's cool. Like, but you like as an athletic director and anybody in the athletic department, I think you are kind of a model for fans coming to games. Like you wear, like if you're wearing a Billiken polo or a quarter zip, like that is you're leading by example. And again, people are going to say it's trivial. I think you kind of, whether or not it helps in a big way or a small way, if it helps at all to get more people wearing blue to Billiken games, I think that's something I would want. But I think that the athletic department staff are model for, Billiken pride, right? If they're wearing, I just think, wearing blue Billiken gear sends a better signal. That's just me.
Sets the tone.
Yes. The Pantone blue, whatever. What?
I thought you were going setting the Pantone. I didn't.
Well, Pantone, is a color. It's blue.
No, I mean Pantone is the name of like any specific, the specific color registry,
the color system or whatever it is. Yeah.
Correct, right?
But yeah, I don't know the specific number.
Pantone, like 387 or whatever it is.
Yeah, that'd be funny if you just said the right one right there.
Maybe it's in my subconscious somewhere. I don't know what it is.
Anyway, let's get off of that. Let's get off of that topic and move on, because I'm sure people will be happy about it. The NBA Summer League. Again, it's amazing how impressive. It's amazing how well the NBA has brought up this summer league into being a thing.
Yeah, they really have, Zach. I mean, like, I meant to look at how long the NBA Summer League's been around, because I feel like you're right. Like it went from being something I didn't really even think about or like barely registered. Like I'm sure I heard about it and just like didn't care, to now, yeah, they're trying to make it like appointment viewing.
It's like NXT to the NBA's WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because there was a point in time where NXT was like among the like hardcores, the it's still real to me, damn it. Right. It was like that was like the thing you watched because we know better than the normies.
Right. It's for the sickos.
Yes. And I think the NBA Summer League has positioned itself in a similar manner to that NXT that WWE put out.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I certainly would agree with that. I think it is pretty interesting. I don't know. I mean, it's watchable. It's interesting. I know some people have complained about the quality of play and stuff like that, but you really are getting a group of pretty random people together for the first time to play 5 games. It's kind of it's an odd thing to play just 5 games over a couple weeks together.
It's also fun. I think it's just something like it gives the fans of college basketball something to nibble on, because you have alumni like Terrence Hargrove, Yuri Collins, who, I mean, sure, most of these guys that go play professionally after SLU are going to Europe. When do we ever get to see them? Like genuinely in a live game. These summer league games, those guys, all of a sudden they're there. You know, Terrence Hargrove is there. Obviously, Yuri Collins played more with the Golden State Warriors than, you know, yeah, I think that's kind of it's a little cookie for us college basketball fans that the NBA throws us every summer.
Yeah, a bridge between college basketball sickos and NBA sickos, I guess, rounding us all up. But we, like you said, we do have two alums playing in this SAC. And after a few DNPs last week, or the previous week, I guess I should say, this past week, Terrence Hargrove finally started playing, and they kind of phased him in more and more. On Tuesday, July 15th against Toronto, a game that they ultimately lost 101-97. 3 minutes, he had 2 points, both free throws, and went -5, Zach. But things picked up for Terrence after that. It was nice to see him get more run.
Yeah, he got me 8 minutes, 2 points, 1 foul, 1 turnover, and a -5 on my birthday. That was a sweet little present.
Yeah, not bad. And the Nuggets won 81-76. But the real breakout game was on Friday against the Lakers. He had 12 points on 6 of 8 shooting, 6 rebounds in 14 minutes. He had some dunks in this one too, Zach. Some good highlights. There was a blowout win, 106-84. He had at least one fast break. He had a putback. He had an and one, but missed the free throw. I didn't see his other 3 buckets, but I don't know. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, he seemed like he was. And again, we only see the stuff that pertains to Terrence Hargrove, but he seemed like he was the Nuggets summer league star, at least on social media on that 18th. I think there was 2 or 3 highlight reel plays from that game, and I think Terrence Hargrove's athleticism is the type of athleticism and the level of athleticism that NBA teams will take on potential. I think NBA, more than any other league, they take guys based on athleticism or physical characteristics. They'll take an unusually tall guy based on the potential that he could learn to play basketball. They have before. That's documented. The uber athletic, Willie Reed would be the type of potential I think I would assign to Terrence Hargrove as far as athleticism.
Yeah, he's obviously a different kind of player, but I know what you're saying. In that there's something there, that they at least have to take seriously and look at. I don't know. I mean, is he going to get a shot this season? I doubt it. I don't know if he's going to go back to Denmark. I don't know what his plans are for this next year. Certainly, it's good to see him get run with an NBA summer league team with some guys who are definitely going to the league this year. And to just, every appearance you make, it just kind of matters. It just puts you in people's minds, and he's at least getting a shot. And that's good to see. A lot of these guys really are long shots to ultimately make the league in a real sense, but it's good to see him up there on that stage. Yeah.
I think, you talked about, will he get a shot this year with an NBA team? I don't think that'll happen at all. I do think that I will predict. I think he'll sign with a D League team, a G League team.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
Yeah, I think that's possible. Probable. I think it's probable, but if it being possible, and then also you look at the number of times he was on social media for that summer league game, like those are little upticks in his value. Overseas, especially.
Sure.
Like he played with the Bakken Bears, and that was Denmark. So, I mean, like the next league up will that's like a bump up a league, like getting that sort of publicity. Like there are European teams and good leagues that will pay good money for a guy who showed out on social media. Like they are out there watching.
Sure. Right.
So I think it's every little bit helps, and I think it's huge. I think he had a huge week.
Yeah. Yeah. Excited for him. I hope this does translate into something more long term. I think you're right. The G League might be a good fit for him this season, but if not, he's still playing. He's still playing. He's still chasing the dream. And
Yes.
we're obviously both rooting for him. On the other hand, Zach, we only got one more appearance out of Yuri Collins with the Suns. That was Wednesday, July 16th against Minnesota. He did start. He played 28 minutes, 2 points on, unfortunately, 1 of 6 shooting. He missed his only 3. But he did have 9 assists to go with 1 rebound, 2 steals, 4 turnovers, 2 fouls. And ended up minus 12, and the Suns lost by 4. But, again, he started 4 of their 5 games. He didn't appear in the last game against Portland. But he started 4 or 5 games. He played big minutes, and that assist number is not something you can ignore. We talked about this last time. He's the player who makes other guys look good. And I don't know. I would actually, if I had to kind of handicap it for these two, I would say I'm more likely to see Collins in the short term than Hargrove in the actual NBA. I know it's going to be tough for both of them, but just given that elite attribute that he has to his game, I think it gives Yuri a better shot in the short term.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. I think again, Hargrove is absolutely a project type player, a guy who if he hangs around long enough, he could get his shot. You just kind of have to stay in the league and keep getting better. Yeah. And I think teams will continue to take a flyer on that guy.
Yeah. No, I agree.
We're speaking of summer basketball. We've been getting Friday highlights on Twitter. Pete, are you enjoying these?
Zach, I am loving these. These have been fantastic. It's the thing I like about it. Number one, they're giving us a few minutes of highlights, right? They're not just giving us like 45 seconds or a minute. They are respecting our attention spans and giving us more. But this has been just the midsummer filler that I need, Zach. How about you?
They're very fun. I need some defensive plays, Pete. I really, give me some hope. Like, and this isn't coming out of nowhere. Like, we were bad on defense last year. We've been bad for 2 years now, 3 years now.
Defense doesn't sell highlight videos. Come on.
No, but yes, it does. Yeah, it can. It's a nice little spice to the
blocks, steals, stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, down and dirty. I want to see you like getting after it on a loose ball.
Mm-hmm.
Like let's go. Show us some hustle in these videos.
You want to see a shot clock expire?
Yes. God damn. Oh, keep going.
Who's standing out to you in these videos, though?
Man, I mean, well, first of all, Sharma has been shooting the lights out. Apparently, he hasn't missed. He hasn't missed in practice. It's wild.
Not the most recent one, but the one before. He hit like 9 threes in that one, which was crazy. This
9 out of 9. He's hit like 25 in a row on the summer. It's crazy.
It wasn't as many that they showed of his in this video, the more recent one. But I thought we got a lot of good Kellen Dame stuff in here, Zach. It has me kind of optimistic for his status for the season.
Buddy, welcome to the conversation.
Yeah.
I've been on it the whole time. I was there.
Yeah, I know. I'm not doubting you. I'm just saying, like, I'm noticing more of him in these.
Yes.
I thought this one had some good Robbie Avila stuff in there, especially early on in the segment. And I also thought, who was it in this? Who else was it in this last one? I'm forgetting.
Otieno? One more guy. Was that the opening one?
Some good Otieno stuff. Thames, shoot, there's McCautry. We saw more McCautry in this last one. And where I feel like I have not seen much of him at all this summer in these videos, but yeah, he shows up.
They're hiding him. Conspiracy corner time.
Secret
they
weapon.
Are hiding McCautry. Yeah.
No, I love this though, Zach. I hope they keep it up. I think these are good. Good packages, and it's just a lot of these guys we only get these little glimpses of them so far, right? So it goes a long way for me.
Have you tuned into much of? I haven't. Admittedly, I've been missing out with being out of town, and then just getting back into work this week. Like I haven't checked the film room.
Oh yeah,
have you been watching those? Have you been keeping up with those?
I have been watching those. I want to say they did one today. Oh, Jax Kerr. Yeah. I haven't gotten to that one yet. So yeah, I've been watching those, and then
the shirts ones, right? The shirts ones,
yeah. Because like he did Dion Brown about a week ago, Sharma before that, Brady Dunlap.
The one that Shirts was doing when he was wearing the shirt that you sent me and asked me if they sell.
Yeah, and to be two things that I've got to follow up on that. Number one, the reason I asked you is because that was texted to me by someone else. And shout out to Andy. I think he listens. And number two, I am not. You said I was a fashionista. I'm not a fashionista. I'm a middle-aged dad. You're wearing it. Yeah, the first thing you said to me when we signed on was "nice dad hat," which is literally how this item is listed on.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, so I'm owning the dadness of it all.
I just the little snippets of content that they put out on Twitter are great.
What about the have you enjoyed the get to know where they're doing like the last one was Dion Brown?
I watched a couple of them. Yeah, I think I've seen a couple of them, but yeah, I haven't. No. Those are good too.
They did Sharma, they did Dunlap, they did a little farther back they did Quentin Jones, and then more recently Dion Brown was the last one, Brady Dunlap before him. So yeah, those are pretty good too, but I think the highlights are kind of my favorite.
The schedule it's a Charlie Foxtrot. Yeah, scheduling has been a Charlie Foxtrot for 5 years now.
Scheduling's hard, Zach. And SLU historically has not done itself much favors by just not winning more over the years. I think that's kind of the thing that's holding them back more than anything. But well, number one is the conference, but number two is not winning enough. So they've officially been matched up with Santa Clara in the first game out in California for the Acrisure series, with Minnesota and Stanford on the other side of the bracket. So if we win, we'll play the winner of that game. We lose, we play the loser. Santa Clara game will be at 6 Central Time on Thanksgiving Day. And then the next game will be the next day, Black Friday, at either 6 if they win or 8:30 if they lose. But Zach, the weird thing here is we had heard that they're starting a home and home with Santa Clara, scheduled to start at SLU this season. For now, Stu Durando says it's unchanged, but talks are ongoing about scheduling at the Acrisure series. So
this sounds like some finagling.
Yeah, like, hey, we're already playing each other. You can't really match us up in the first round. I think they're upset that they got bumped from. They were supposed to be with Iowa and Ole Miss, and Grand Canyon got their spot. And that stinks.
Yeah, and we should probably talk about that, right? Yeah,
of course.
That's what we do here.
Yeah.
There's a reason, obviously, that we don't get good MTEs, multi-team events, Pete. And that is... Correct me if I'm wrong. It's we don't travel very well as a fan base.
No, I think that's true. I think you wind up with a little, small core every time, but I think that's part of it for sure. And I think that also those things go together. Not having a huge fan base on the road and not having a team that consistently wins, right? If we came out of 2014 and kept stringing solid seasons together, tournament appearances, stuff like that. this would be a different conversation right now. But the fact of the matter is, we have not really won in 11 years. We had one fluke NCAA tournament appearance, and other than that, it's been pretty mediocre for SLU basketball. And in the meantime, when you go that long without winning, you risk losing generations of fans, right? Who don't get used to that urge to like, oh, wow, we're going to be playing in this MTE. I love Charleston this time of year. Like, I've never been to Cancun, or yeah, let's go to LA, or wherever the thing is. Now it's like it's a big ask for a fan base that hasn't been rewarded with going out to see a winner when you travel to these events.
Yeah, and that was absolutely well put, and much more level headed than I would have gone. So I commend you for that.
So then give us your non-level headed take. What did I miss?
No, I mean it's not necessarily non level headed. I think it was just kind of saying like it comes with the athletic department. Like it all eventually falls on the head of the snake, right? Like you have what 18 years now, and your men's back, like it's very hard to get this shit going again without some
Yeah.
new ideas.
Yeah.
It's some new blood. Like it is the failure of this athletic department at the men's basketball, in men's basketball, is a knock-on effect down the road. It puts you even further behind the eight ball to try to win now.
Yeah. 4 NCAA tournament appearances in the last 25 years was the number that was being bandied about in recent days on social media. 3 of those were consecutive with the same, core group of players. One of those was again, I called it a fluke. I think obviously they earned it. You got to win those games, but they were 1 inch from a shot going in that didn't go in, and they got to dogpile on half court and everything. But look, it's not good enough. That's not a strong state of affairs. That last 25 years, that goes back to, I was in high school. That team that made it, I guess that was that was Romar's first year, that Memphis team, another kind of fluky conference tournament run. But when I came to
Rest in
SLU
peace, Justin Love.
yeah, oh man, no kidding. When I came to SLU in the fall of 2001, I kind of took for granted that making the tournament was something that would just happen. Not every year, but that it would happen enough to make this all fun and worthwhile. I was a manager for 4 years, didn't sniff the tournament once. And then obviously since then it's just been, I like I said, it's just those other 4 appearances. And coming out of the 90s, when I really was a kid and a fan and coming up with this program, we made it several times, and it was just it's just such a disappointment to be in the program and not make it, and then think like, well, I got unlucky. That was just kind of a down cycle, right? And then not really, with the exception of that 3-year stretch, the rest of this time we have just not made it. And so, yeah, if you're a fan and you like, I only have so many vacation days from work in a year. I have only so many expendable travel dollars that I can spend in a year. It's a pretty, again, big ask for that to be committed to a trip to go see a basketball team that hasn't really delivered for you. So I get where SLU fans are coming from. It is still disappointing. Mm-hmm. Those turds at Dayton travel well. St. Bonaventure fans travel well. Like the last time they played in Charleston,
they have low overhead up there.
It was
it's cheap rent.
Yeah, well, it's still like, where are they flying out of, right? That's not easy. So
Dog sled.
I think most of their alums are probably in New York and have lots of flight options. But anyway, New York City, that is. My point is just, yeah, we don't have a culture of that, and we haven't had enough success to sort of manufacture that, right? So it sucks. It sucks to be caught in that cycle, as college athletics are changing so dramatically and scheduling is just getting harder and harder every year.
Yeah, I can imagine there are people, that graduate or that started SLU in 2017, 16 that absolutely could, like, there are the percentage of people that just could not, that like sports
Mhm.
and could not care about SLU basketball is much higher than any other any other decade of Billiken athletics.
And when I showed up in the fall of 2001, I'm thinking about like all the kids on my floor, and like my roommate was an Ohio State fan, guy down the hall was a Duke fan, another guy down the hall was a Wisconsin fan. They're either fans of like different programs they grew up liking, or the fans of like where they came from. But I get so jealous of the schools that people like come there to be part of their fan culture, to be part of
Yeah.
their athletic culture. We don't have nearly enough of that.
We don't have any of that. I'm not gonna. I mean, we have none of that.
Right.
I would venture to say that might have been the last to do that.
You're the last of a dying breed.
There was no breed. I think there's maybe like. I mean, we've never had it.
Yeah, I know. And it's one of those things that I say about my generation, but I think it's still true. Maybe it's even more true than it was then.
Yeah, we had a shot though.
We had a shot.
Yeah, I honestly, in some twisted ass way, like this can all be traced even further back to Biondi. Like going over, like it could all be traced back to Biondi firing Soderbergh over Levick's head.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many, and we have some of them written down for
We
future,
do.
ideas that, but there are so many, points throughout our history where you're like, oh, this could have happened and it didn't, or this went wrong. I mean,
I think that's everything. It's whatever the multiverse theory or whatever. You know what I mean? It's some
well, people older than me will talk about in the '80s when they almost dropped out of D1 altogether.
Yeah.
So there's been some really dark days, but they seem to have never had foresight in there about where college athletics are going.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting thought experiment, though. Biondi doesn't go over Levick's head. Levick's still here. Soderbergh maybe gets one more year. Soderbergh leaves. We don't get Majerus? I mean, so it's almost like going backward to go forward.
Mm-hmm.
Shirk and who knows if Levick's successful, but Levick always struck me as an impressive person, an impressive athletic director. But again, you're talking about a 14-year-old, 15-year-old Zach. So what the hell I still don't know a lot. But anyway, yeah, the podcast took a downturn there. That's okay. We stay guardedly hopeful. Is guardedly a
Yeah, I mean, like there's, whatever. If we weren't hopeful, we wouldn't be here at all, right?
That's true.
In terms of this MTE, if it's unchanged, maybe we do play Santa Clara twice. I don't know. I think that's probably better than the alternative. If we bump that home and home with them out another year, we probably wind up with a lower net rated game. So like we already have an effect of, by switching from one pod to the other in the Acrisure series, we're already losing net rating points, right? Like opportunities, basically. And if that happened, that would be a further knock-on effect of it. So, the schedule has been weak already, and now it's getting weakened for reasons out of our control. We're going to have a separate home game as part of the Acrisure series still to be announced. I don't think that's going to be a net rating helper. It's just a home game you have to win. So, stay tuned. We'll see where this goes. But so far it has not developed in our favor.
Let's talk recruiting. We've got a couple of guys who've cut down their list to 3 each of them. And we seem to be fortunate in this case, as we are a part of those 3.
We've got a couple, we've got a few recruitments here that seem to be shaping up to include us in their picture. Jermel Thomas is one, a recent offer that we talked about. He's a 6'3" point guard from Our Savior Lutheran in New York, top 150 kid. He's visiting SLU, Seton Hall, and Providence, which are his top 3 schools at this point. And he plans to make his decision in about a month. The quote is before September. So he said 30 days as of July 22nd. But that kind of gives him an extra week to play with. He didn't say these are absolutely my 3 finalists, but it's sure shaping up that way. So he's kind of leaving the door cracked open. We'll see how it develops. He's a New York kid, so the other 2 are certainly closer. But the fact that we're involved means there's something that is attracting him to the program. The other one, Zach, who's going to be visiting is Eli Sancombe. He's the one we talked about last time out of West Virginia, 6'5" combo guard from Central Catholic in Wheeling. He'll visit SLU, but it sounds like we're going to get an unofficial visit because he has official visits scheduled to Belmont, Loyola, and Liberty, and it didn't have us in that graphic, but he's coming to campus one way or another, and I'd like to think we can hold our own against those 3. And then the other one, Zach, this is not a new offer, but we did make, or a visit yet. We did make the final 7 for Mason McGee, who's a 6'1" point guard from Basha High School in Arizona, plays AAU for Compton Magic on the Adidas circuit. His other 6 finalists are Seton Hall, again, Cal, Stanford, Mississippi State, San Francisco, and UC Santa Barbara. He had at least 22 offers before trimming his list down. So that's I think that's really positive to be in his basically the final third of his list where he's getting serious. I think SLU fans would really like McGee. He's the kind of point guard that could really succeed in the A10. Undersized, doesn't look like he's going to grow much more. He has that kind of frame, but he's a good scorer and just a really smart player, hard competitor who knows kind of when to take it himself and when to make the pass. He's got that dog in him. I think he's a guy that people would like. And then, Zach, there's only one new offer this week, and that's a 2027 player named Chase Richardson, who's a 6'2" point guard from Friendswood High School in Texas, who plays AAU for an Adidas program, TJ Ford Academy. Complete point guard, incredible passer, 3-level scorer, really crafty, hits his 3-pointer off the dribble just as well as he does off the catch. He's a smart player, that kind of kid who always seems like he's one play ahead of everyone else on the floor. A lot of other offers right now: LaSalle, Purdue, Ole Miss, SMU, TCU, Arizona State, New Mexico, Wichita State, handful of others, especially around Texas where he's from. But good-looking point guard. We've got another year before he's heading into a senior year and really gets serious. So we'll monitor this one. I think he's another one that would fit the system, though.
Pete, let's switch gears here. This show is going to be a roller coaster of tones. I just don't know at this point. But it's summer, and this is how things tend to roll. Sincere Parker, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, this is depressing, Zach. Memphis Tigers now guard Sincere Parker has been charged with aggravated assault and vandalism, as first reported by the Memphis Commercial Appeal. The alleged incident happened on May 27th, but didn't get reported until June 12th. And it just sounds like kind of an ugly domestic situation, Zach. And it just bummed me out. I know we're 2 schools ago at this point for him. He's going into his final year. He's going to be at Memphis, but I don't know. I hate to see him going this way.
The details, I guess I'll run them down, but I think, okay, I'll just run them down. The victim, his girlfriend, who he had moved in with, says that she was arguing with Parker when he pushed her, struck her in the face, and then choked her, which left her bruised and with a bloody mouth. He also broke her acrylic nails and her iPhone. She said he broke the phone so she couldn't have the digital key to the apartment. His attorney said the incident was captured on a video call between him and his mom, which is fortunate for us in our defense. They say they're going to fight it, and it's part of a long ongoing saga between the two. And he looks bad to the public now, but that they need time to change that perception. Parker was held without bond in the Shelby County Jail until his court appearance on Monday, the 22nd. His original bond was set at $120,000, but was reduced to $75,000. His bond has been posted. He's due back in court on the 29th, and he has to stay at least 100 feet away from his girlfriend. Until then, he transferred from Memphis to Memphis from McNeese State during the offseason. Pete, I think beyond the Jesus Christ reaction, I just don't think we've seen a level of reporting on sports. Like, this is way more than I think I've ever heard about any alleged arrest or alleged crime. Or I don't, this is weird, right?
It is. When seeing him in court, like the picture of him in court, I was like, whoa, like, what is he, OJ? Why are like, I just think in Memphis, I think they just cover this team a lot more than other places, right? I mean, like, I feel like if this happened in St. Louis, would we get court photos of him?
I don't know if we'd get court photos of like we haven't even gotten court photos of that Mizzou player or that Mizzou recruit who was arrested for an alleged assault while he was on a visit.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
like they
right.
barely, nobody covered that.
Right.
No, like, I don't even know, like, I mean, maybe it's proximity bias, but like, I don't think I've ever, like, I'm not saying this is weird for SLU. I'm saying, and us here in St. Louis, I'm saying like, it's weird anywhere. It's more than I've ever seen.
Yeah, seeing that court picture, I was just like, he's not that famous. Like, I know he's a public figure and that he's a basketball player, but like, I don't know. I feel like that's reserved for rarefied air. It was very strange to see. So yeah, it is amazing the amount of coverage this is getting. I'm guessing we'll hear a lot more, right? I mean, he's due back in a week in court, so. We'll see how this develops. I know his defense attorney says he's innocent and he's going to be vindicated. I know that's what his defense attorney is supposed to say, but we'll see how it goes. I just think it's all kind of a bummer, and no matter how you react to these things or think what happened, none of us were there. We don't know, but it seems like something happened, some kind of ugly, situation happened, and so I don't know. The whole thing just makes me sad.
Yeah, it does. I don't, as much as I do kind of enjoy checking out the local news and then looking people up on social media that get arrested. It's fun to do sometimes, but like, this kind of stuff this is a bummer.
Well, especially because we had him on the show, right? Before he came to SLU, and he was great to talk to. He was really fun. I remember him telling that story about the whole team getting food poisoning at the Golden Corral before a basketball tournament. So, I enjoyed that talk a lot. He seemed like he had a big personality and everything. So that adds another level of bummer to me.
Yeah. I you know what? I mean, like, I don't know. I hesitate to say anything. I hope everybody gets the help they need. Is that okay? Can I say that?
I think that's fair.
Okay, good. I hope everybody gets the 2 men in the garden.
That's probably your best transition. That's probably just Just good work there, Zach. Yeah, I hope they do. And I got to say this. So this past weekend was the St. Louis Shock, big professional pickleball event down at Chaffetz Arena. I know Rich Chaffetz and Ross were really hyping it up. But they're a big partner for Two Men in a Garden, our friends there. And I don't really see pickleball and their sponsorship there, Zach, as a competitor to us. I see it as a rising tide that lifts all boats, right? But they said of their experience, we had a shocking good time hanging out with the St. Louis Shock professional pickleball team owned by the Chaffetz family. I'm pretty sure I've got the only pickle jar in the world signed by the whole team. We sponsor the team. So let's just say they are powered by pickles. And then they shared some photos of them with the players getting the autographs and then the jar with the autographs on it. So, when you support Two Men in a Garden in any way, when you support the Shock, we're kind of one big happy family here. So I thought that was pretty cool. I hope the event was fun for everybody who attended. Obviously I was not able to, but in the meantime, if you want to support Two Men in a Garden Salsa, head over to twomeninagarden.com. Tell them in the notes, your order notes, that we sent you, and enjoy $9.99 nationwide shipping.
Yeah, just for legal reasons, our code does not give you $9.99 nationwide shipping. It's just that's just what they offer.
You know what? Put us in the note. Just say in the notes.
Just put us in the notes for the fun of it, for the love of the game, for the love of the game.
That's all. Yeah, that's right.
Let's talk some women's basketball. They have a new offer out. It's a 2027 6'1" Marianne Kenyon of Marquette High School. She plays for Nafisa Collier Elite. Earl called her a talented point forward.
Point forward. You got to love it. Yeah, Zach, Tillett is doing a good job, I got to say, of recruiting local talent in the 2026 to 29 classes, really more noticeably than I remember in any previous coach, recruiting locally. I think that's always been a weak point for this program, especially sealing the deal with local recruits. But it's not just that she's recruiting locally. She's not settling for like the second and third tier recruits. She really is going after the best players in the area, trying to keep them home. How much she succeeds, I don't know, but I do give her credit for building those inroads now with programs that SLU has historically not been able to pull from. So I love the effort. I really hope it pays dividends.
I agree with you. I think there's a lot of things we've been critical about this off season, but this is not one of them. Tillett has been active with the best players in St. Louis, and that is big time, especially because Mizzou does tend to loom. It's SEC and the top girls in St. Louis. You can't blame them. Right. On the baseball side of things, an incoming transfer in Andrew Banda. He's a 5'10", 175 right-handed pitcher from Cypress College in California. He will be a junior. His ERA was 8.16 in 19 appearances. He did strike out 30 in 28 innings. And finally, Pete, and we are going to, I'm making the decision right now. We're going to lead off the show next week with this topic if nothing changes.
Yeah, Zach, and that is field hockey still has not hired a head coach. Zoe Adkins, Zoe Adkins, the previous head coach, stepped down on May 5th. So that's 2.5 months ago, which I did not know was going to be possible to wait 2.5 months and then some, right, for a new coach. But what's crazy, Zach, you go to the website, you go to the roster, and they have 5 freshmen listed. And then, 8 or 9, maybe more than that, 10 or so returners. So you're kind of like, there's a roster here. There's a team. I guess these freshmen weren't going to leave with the coach or anything. Okay. Like,
I mean, that's not enough players.
they've got, let's see. What did I say? 5 freshmen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 returners. That's 15 on the
You
roster.
need, hold on.
I think you could probably field a team with that, right?
Field hockey. They don't call it 10 outfield players and 1 goalkeeper.
So that's a short bench. They had 17
I
on the
mean,
roster.
that's, and you're assuming that all of those players play the specific position, and that do we have 1 goaltender?
Right. Yeah.
I
so.
don't know.
There was 17 on the roster last year.
I mean, you can't play. You can't. I mean, 17, even 17, you can't play. Full games against each other, but like still.
Right.
I mean, what the hell? Let's see. Midfielder. We have
22 on the roster 2 years ago.
2 goalkeepers. I mean, I don't. Okay.
So
we have
you go from 22 to 15 in 2 seasons without a coach.
And what is Shia Dry gonna coach?
A player coach, little Daryl Duran out there.
Hell yeah, brother.
I don't know, man.
Daryl, Double D. What an interesting fella.
Yeah, but I mean, they have a decent amount of returners. I really don't know.
I don't. Okay. I don't know, man. This is gonna lead the show. If this is still the case on July 29th, holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, when do they start? It's a fall sport. They're going to start practice soon, right? Yeah. I mean, obviously they should be having some sort of summer practice of some kind, but their games start. They don't have the schedule up yet, but their games generally start at the end of August. We're 5-ish weeks away from that.
They do have a schedule, apparently, right? No,
not up yet.
They don't have a schedule. They have they have a field. They have a brand new field. $2 million. No coach.
Yeah, unusual situation.
I really don't want this whole episode to be like somebody get us a new athletic director, but like I
feel like you're going to always land there, right?
I mean that's my opinion. It's been my opinion for a long time. Mm-hmm. You know that.
I do know that. I don't know what is going on here, it's crazy. It's crazy to be less than 6 weeks away from the start of a season and not have a head coach, and on a brand new facility.
But you know what's awesome and why that we got the A10 50th anniversary logo at the bottom of the page. That's pretty neat. That's neat. Yeah,
I hadn't noticed that yet.
I just did. It wasn't something I had noticed. I mean, I'll coach. I could coach.
Field hockey strategy.
My strategy would be we're not playing out of the back. We're just playing it long, and we're gonna go press high and turn them over, and that's it. That's it. You win the ball in your own half. You, when in doubt, clear it out, and you're in doubt every time you get the ball. Just that's. I think you could. I think there are games that SLU could have won this season, but they played a certain way. But it is what it is. I think that's going to do it for us. I think I've rambled on a little much in many facets of this episode, including the end. So. Thank you for indulging me, Pete, and the rest of our listeners. As always, Pete, regardless of whether or not we have a field hockey coach, on July 22nd. Go Bills.
Go Bills.